How's everyone doing?
I'm right.
I don't think I've met Sander, or it's been a while, but I don't know if
Hello. I joined a couple of these a little while back, but I
yeah.
recently started a new job with even more of an open source focus, so figured this
Oh,
would be a good one to kind of sit in on and listen.
well, congrats on the new
Thanks.
job. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna.
I was going to ask what you're working on.
Yes, that's the other question.
Yes. So I am co-leading the open source program at a company called Defense Unicorns. Kind of cybersecurity software delivery focus. And yeah, we have like 4 open source projects that we're currently going through the process of moving to CNCF and OpenSSF, and yeah, so we have me leading like the program side, and then a friend of mine leading the tech lead side.
Cool.
Yeah, so I guess makes a lot of sense. Tech contributor strategy now.
Yep.
So if your project's already being sandboxed?
So none of them are official yet. One of them called Zarf, we kind of have a informal agreement with OpenSSF that they will approve the sandbox application once it's opened, which we're going to open the issue this week. And then there's 2 others that we're going to be trying for CNCF sandbox in the next couple months, hopefully by KubeCon this year.
Very exciting.
When you get there, there's a cool feature the way your project actually now have their own LFX dashboard, and you can have your own LFX calendar, and you can set your meetings, and you get as many Zoom links as you want. So when you get there, that's with my LF hat on. Give me a shout. I'll help you through that.
That's cool. In the past, it was always I just had to do CNCF service desk tickets and talk to someone to get them like manually added to the CNCF calendar. So if you can manage it through LFX now, that's fantastic.
Yes, to get it on the the CNCF calendar, there's still a bit of a disconnect there, but to have your own meetings with your own Zoom that you can manage and get the recordings, all that, that's a nice new feature. I think this is going to be all of us.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're 4 minutes in. I just think we can get started. I had a feeling it would be a smaller meeting today. So welcome everyone to today's Tech Contributor Strategy meeting. And I think we don't have any talking points, so we can get right to the updates. And first on the list is mentoring.
Yep. Hello. So for mentoring, we are actually pretty busy. We were busy because we have lots of operations going on. So the Google Summer of Code mentees, we selected them, or basically we sent Google our selections, and Google gave us 11 slots. So we have 11 mentees for Google Summer of Code. Currently, they're in community bonding period. So the mentors and mentees and community, they bond. LFX term 1, it is almost over. We have like 2 or 3 weeks. I don't remember exactly. It's going well too. And LFX mentorship term 2, it is currently, right after this meeting, we are gonna upload the applications to LFX platform. We have so far 37 proposals, which is actually impressive, I think. And mentee applications will start next week. So business is good.
Awesome. Healthy part of the group. That's awesome. If any questions, or should we move to contributor growth, which is also Ali, or is it Rian? No, then it's Rian.
It is me. I can contributor in growth from this month's meeting. It was fairly lightly attended. One of the topics that we discussed is when we were at KubeCon, I attended the peer mentoring session, And it was absolutely surprising on the Friday after a whole week of conferencing, the type of questions you get there about people that they don't know why they need a GitHub handle, they don't know what a PR is, and then their badge says something like contributor of big company, which is, so I was thinking the things that we have on how to get started, if we can do at KubeCon next year, a half day, maybe co-located before the event, where we basically people that know nothing first KubeCon, and half of every KubeCon is new people.
Yeah.
If we do like a free colo thing beforehand that gets sponsored by LF training, or by, I don't know, Udemy or one of the training companies that says we want to sponsor this, and then we just tell people the basics, much like we did with Destiny. She had an idea, she had a GitHub handle, but she wasn't sure about what the process for PR is. And once she figured that one missing bit out, she's the lead of one of the co-leads of a working group. So I think that little missing piece, if we're going to get more people just seeing that small missing piece, we can help them. So that's from there. But since the meeting, I've done nothing to make it happen, so I'll still need to figure it out.
Well, we have time until KubeCon North America, but these things need to be planned in advance, right? So I think it's a great idea, especially because I think we always assume people know all these things, and until you realize, oh no, because since you're so much like dealing with it every single day, you just assume everyone else is too, and it's not really the case. So
I'm technically low enough down the ladder to know what it feels like to be at the bottom of the ladder. So ask me, I know where the first rung and the second rung of the ladder is. Let's do this. So that's kind of what I have in mind.
Yeah. Ali, you are also, because I know governance is generally Don or Josh, you're part of it too, right? Yeah.
Yep. So I'm also a member. So I didn't attend the last meeting, but I watched the recording, which I uploaded today, by the way. So there are various governance review requests that came in from Tekton, Pixie, and I don't remember others right now. And we or Dawn and Josh, they kind of shared these requests, so we are gonna do them. That was the first thing. The other thing is, again, I wasn't there, but I saw the recording and they had pretty good interaction with the Cert Manager project. So the project, they want to have more people from other companies, other than the main vendor, the primary vendor. And they were talking about setting up a steering committee or doing some other stuff. So I actually liked that interaction, watching that interaction, actually. That's all I know for governance.
And Maintainer Circle is not here, so we'll skip to Deaf and Hard of Hearing Working Group. So we met with the LF events team for a better interpreter approach. So instead of using agencies, we're gonna build a team of freelancers that will join for all conferences, very similar to what they do with the photographers. If you've seen the photographers, always the same team. They fly them in everywhere, which is really good because then they are familiar with their preferences, their style. We have a lot of non-native signers, people who sign ASL but are not native ASL speakers, and we've realized that it's a lot easier for the interpreters to understand them once they interacted a little bit with them, just as it is with speaking people. Sometimes it's easier to get used to the accent or whatever. Something I'm really excited about, it's a little slow, but I hope Ali will appreciate that. We kickstarted a glossary team. And so the idea is to create a little video of the tech sign under each term. Some of them have already terms, some have not. So the idea is to come up with terms, agree on are we going to sign Kubernetes? How are we going to sign container, and then try to standardize this. And if not the deaf and hard of hearing working group of the CNCF, who else should be better? Who else is better positioned to kind of come up and decide what the actual cloud native terms should be? So excited about that. Oh, and what I'm actually really excited about, because we were what's it called, debating whether it should be its own little thing, like you have Turkish and then you go and see the Turkish, but then not a lot of people will see it. So we're actually going to have it under the English term, and so everyone who's using the glossary just to learn what it means in English, they will discover the sign too. And the hope is that people feel like inclined to say, hey, check it out, and maybe have a little fun learning how to sign, like cloud native terms. And then the international team can take that and add that too. And if there is like a team from that language that, or deaf people from that language in Turkey, for instance, who say like, no, we already have this, that they can just update it. But theoretically, we would love cloud native terms to be global and not have 350 different signs. So, but yeah, it should be fun. And I'm hoping to see more people signing cloud native terms just for fun. Now I'm lost. Okay. And yeah, we need to talk about KubeCon. It's KubeCon talks. So unfortunately, there's not a lot of space for accessibility talks. Only one got accepted. So I wished they would give a little bit more, a bigger platform, not one talk. But we also need to have a look and see if we can submit some technical talks. And so to this group, if anyone is interested to tag team with a deaf or hard of hearing person, we did that with Anastasia. We actually couldn't have someone from Linkerd speak. It was like a co-presented thing. So it was Argo, Flux, and Linkerd. And the Linkerd part was fairly easy because it's just like, what is a service mesh? What is Linkerd? And then what is progressive delivery? So she did that high level overview part, and then the Flux and Argo maintainers went deep into the more technical things. So again, the goal is to have more deaf people on stage so people realize they are part of the community. So it's not necessarily as like if we haven't identified that many subject matter experts yet, so that's still something that's really important. So if anyone is submitting a technical talk and is willing to tag team and like with someone kind of similarly that we did for that talk, please let me know.
So
yeah.
What's a good strategy for us, like for a person like me here? Like, for example, if I submit a Knative talk, in the current community, I don't think there is anybody who can deliver a Knative talk with me, but should I be more strategic if I want to have a deaf person with me on the stage?
I don't know. Would it start with like this is what Knative is and a little bit of an intro, or like more highlight? So then that person could do that, and because basically what we kind of guided her through, we kind of showed her, gave her some reading material, and then kind of helped her with the slides, and then she asked a lot of questions, and we kind of, so she learned a lot about service mesh and Linkerd, right? So it's not like, okay, you figure it out, do that session. So it's like you're still kind of helping prepare it and then teaching, but it was really like a short part, doesn't have to be huge, and then can do the intro, and then at the end maybe say, now we're ready, thank you, and then like some call to action. And it's just like, if there's any way we can just have people on stage, that's just awesome, right? So
there's a couple of technical people that's strong technical in deaf and hard of hearing. Maybe we should reach out and say, we have this and this and this technical talk that is willing to partner. Do you have skills in this area? And you'll probably be surprised how skilled.
Yeah, we do have two people who work with Kubernetes that I know of. So I did ask in the chat, is there anyone else has experience with Kubernetes? Because most of them are rather new. They're technical, they're all engineers, but not necessarily
Kubernetes.
It's still, yeah. So that's kind of the difference. So, I mean, they are engineers and can learn the concept. So it's like, but like, you're not going to have people like who are deep in the weeds. That's rather, yeah, we haven't found those people yet because they're just excited that there is like it's basically a group for technical people, deaf engineers right now. It's not necessarily because it's still small. So it's like, we wouldn't have many members, I guess, if we would be that like saying like it's just specific for Cloud Native.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they're all excited and want to learn. So now it's like it's another way for them as well to expose them to Cloud Native and learn. So they're all kind of like interested.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. If you're would love definitely to work with you on that if that's something that's feasible.
I wasn't thinking to do a talk about that. I was thinking, as we spoke about, I have no idea where to start, but let me show you as a half-day thing. But if Destiny wanted, she leads the talk and I'll support, and she can actually talk about how to get started in open source. If you propose that she does the talk, I'll be the co-speaker and she'll be the primary speaker. And Destiny speaks very well. And I can tag team with her. I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, she would love that, I'm sure.
Would you propose it to her, or do you want me to tell her?
You can just, I would say just reach out to her. It's like you two have been chatting, so I'm sure she's gonna be excited. And then website infra, who's that?
That's
we
me
have?
again. So
Okay, it's all you. You're doing too much.
It's supposed to be me as well to help, but sorry, Ali, I'm drowning here.
So I think infra, so like our GitHub side, we are pretty good there. So you've done your job. The website is, it requires more stuff. It requires maintenance and stuff. But we are pretty stable there, and it's a low priority, so I'm not spending a lot of time there. But Abby from II, she was doing some work, and she wants to continue that work. So she was upgrading our Hugo version to a version that supports Hugo modules. So in the long run, we have to switch to Hugo modules. So that's a bit technical for this meeting, I guess. So I will leave it there. But yeah, we have a potential, or we have a contributor here, and maybe, hopefully, she can be another maintainer for the website.
I will announce I'm excited to see Abby here.
And
Oh,
I actually did a mistake early on. We started right with the talks, but like, of course, Xander is here for a reason. But then I saw it was really fast. So I was like, oh, let's just do the updates real quick. So yeah, so I mean, we know now that you're working on several open source projects, new job and so on. But yeah, why you're here and what are you hoping to get out of it and how can we help you? And that should have been the first question. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. I think mostly just here to start by just kind of listening. I think I'll probably join the contributor growth meetings too, for sure, because that's going to be important to what I'm working on, but also like open to contributing to the work group as well. I think currently I have a lot of allowance to contribute upstream where there's need. So if there's anything that comes up that could use extra contributors with the work group, I'm certainly open to that. My old coworker, Carolyn Venslick, was fairly involved with this tag, if I recall, and
Awesome.
always had positive things to say about this group.
So we actually need more people in governance working group doing governance GVUs, and we have a nice template where you can give it a go. Yeah, that could be another thing if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, one of the things that we always say, like especially because you have now new projects and there aren't resources for everything yet, right? And so instead of, because it's not like, oh, there isn't that yet and that's it. So like help like if you're looking for something or guidance on something, chances are other projects are too. And so basically, instead of figuring it out on yourself, like just doing it in a broader kind of context, like the working group gives you also access to other people, right? Like that's how I started. I created like a contributor guide, like overview, and I got to interview lots of different maintainers who made like a lot of space and time to kind of took a lot of time to talk to me, and which they wouldn't do if I would just be asking it for my project particularly. So that's just something to keep in mind. Everyone is super willing to provide advice if it is something that will be contributed back. So that's
Sure.
I know we have a lot of things too, but if it's something a lot of work that is already in the pipeline and needed, but if it's something specific that you're looking for. And then someone added TOC, README, and charter review and update.
Yes, sorry, I dropped that in the last minute. I did drop it in the leads channel at one stage. So we did discuss it in the contributor growth meeting last month. So from the TOC side, they asked that tags clean up their repos, which we did, and a lot of the clean up the repo come from because our repo are clean. They want all the other repos to be cleaned and representing what we are doing. Then the open bit is our README is fairly up to date, but there's some standards standardization that what the TOC want us to do that I'll start working on to make a PR. And then the actual thing is the charter. When we discussed it, Josh was there, and I think Dawn was also in that meeting. And we have not updated or touched our charter in over 2 years. And there is a copy of the charter in the TOC repo, and there's a copy of the charter in the tag repo, and they do not match. There's slight differences. It's not like chalk and cheese, but the point is that we actually do not maintain both, and we cannot maintain both. So one needed to be deleted, and the other one, Josh, being the most experienced, and he was here from the beginning, said, yeah, it's a good time. The charter needs some review. So to make it easier than editing in a GitHub PR, I thought I'll pull it out, stick it in a Google Doc, and everybody can contribute and make comments. And so I will try and drive that and move it forward and ask people for contributions to specifically the charter. And when it's ready, I'll PR it into the TOC, let them approve it, and we delete the one in our local repo. So we get all synced in.
That sounds
Oh,
like
that
it.
was on mute. I said awesome.
It was a little weird to get crickets after that, because I know I'm making work, sorry.
I did move my lips. Yeah, so any questions, comments that are things you wanted to discuss that is not on here?
I'm good.
I think it sounds like we can give everyone 35 minutes back.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a nice one.
Well, thanks everyone.
Have a nice day. Speak to you later. Cheers.
Bye.